Hey guys, I'm Christine, and you're watching The Backroad, a place where I explore modern American country music. So, in my last video, I discussed my identity and experience as an Asian American country fan. But in order to explore this topic a little further, I really wanted to get a different perspective from mine. So, today I'm really excited to bring you an interview conversation I had with Travis Yee. I originally discovered Travis by just Googling Asian country singer to see what would come up, and he was one of the top results. What really struck me about Travis is his social media presence and how he's really embodied this identity of an Asian country singer. He's been posting covers on YouTube and Instagram for a few years, but he really took off on TikTok over the past year of 2020 and now has over 500,000 followers. He recently appeared on the Fox TV show I Can See Your Voice and is very well known for his country covers of non-country songs, such as WAP in the style of Garth Brooks, which is really awesome, and embarrassingly enough, someone had to tell me what that stood for. But anyways, I had such a lovely time talking to Travis about how he got into country music and built his social media presence, how he views his Asian American identity as a country singer, and what he hopes to do next. I really enjoyed this conversation, so I hope you guys enjoy as well.
I guess to start off, what is your background? Like, where did you grow up, and how
Yeah,
did you
so
get into country music?
it's the most random story ever. Like literally the most random story ever. So I'm originally from San Francisco, born and raised in San Francisco. I live in Las Vegas now, but no one in my family sings or does music or anything. And I didn't grow up on music. Uh, like we never really played music in the house. About 10 years ago, I was driving to Comic Con, just to go to Comic Con. And I put on the radio, but there was only so many, stations on the highway because it was just bad reception. And so it was highway country. So I was like, okay, because every other station had commercials. So I started listening to country music. I was like, okay, I actually really like this. I like the storytelling. I like their voice. I liked a lot about it. And I was introduced like at the time to like Tim McGraw, Zach Brown Band, um, like those musicians. And so how the singing came into play was about 7 years ago. I posted a video on YouTube, but it was just me singing. It wasn't a country song. It was Wilson Phillips' Hold On. And I was just doing it to see if I could get YouTube famous. Just like everyone does that one video, right? Just to see what happens.
Yeah.
And
So
so,
how old were you?
well, I'm 35 now.
Uh-huh.
So that was like 27. Like I just got into music not too long ago.
Okay.
And I posted that and people were like, oh my God, you sound so good, but you also like have a country twang. I'm like, no, I don't. I didn't like, I never associated my voice to country music. And so then I got on Instagram and I started just posting a cappella covers. And I was only doing pop songs. And then it slowly started converting into country songs because people kept mentioning the country like voice that was coming out of me. And then I just started doing it more often because of, the attention, but then I started falling in love with it. And then yeah, now it's like a thing.
So that first exposure to country music when I imagine you were driving down the 5 through Central
Yeah,
Valley because
exactly. Yeah.
it's funny, I grew up in San Diego and then I moved
Okay.
up to the Bay Area for college and I still live here, but I do that drive a lot. Like I've done it dozens of times between San Diego and the Bay, and I definitely know what you mean. Like when you're on that drive and like looking through the radio stations, there's it's really like all country stations.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I mean, I'm curious, like when you first heard country music, did it sound familiar to you in any way? Like you mentioned that you liked the storytelling and stuff, but what about it do you think resonated with you? And how old were you at the time?
So maybe I was like 24 or 25 at the time.
Okay. Wait, your first
Um,
time hearing a country song, you were 24?
so it wasn't, I wouldn't say it's the first time I heard a country song, but it was the first time like I appreciated it.
Okay.
Like growing up in the Bay Area, people like no one really listens to country music.
Yeah.
Um, it's like pop and hip hop really.
Is that what you
And
grew up listening to, I guess?
I grew up on pop and R&B. So like I didn't even know who the Beatles were. Yeah, I grew up on like Earth, Wind and Fire and Temptations, like that era.
Mhm.
And then you like getting older, like Boyz II Men, Usher, that kind of stuff. So like that's what I grew up on. When I was listening on the highway to country music, I didn't really even listen to like they weren't playing any like slow songs or ballads. They were actually just like fun songs. So like I heard Chicken Fried, and I was like, this is
Yeah,
really cool.
such a
um
classic.
yeah, and it was a different kind of like bop, right? Like it like pop music has its cool like melodies and stuff like that, but like country was just, I don't know how to explain it. It was just a different kind of excitement. Um, and I just started digging it. And then even on that same road trip too, I started listening to like bluegrass because it's like a more hyper version of country.
Yes, I love bluegrass. I
It's
play the banjo and I've been getting into
nice.
it over the past couple of years.
I think the order was I was singing country songs because it became like my thing on Instagram before I actually started singing songs because I appreciated them. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like I was kind of just singing songs because people were requesting songs.
Okay, I
So I
see.
was learning songs just to sing because that's what people wanted. But now I'm more appreciative and like really listen to the lyrics and the songs and really appreciate specific artists and stuff. And now when I sing songs, I actually have more of a connection to it. I appreciate how it was written and who wrote it and all that kind of stuff. So it's completely like twisted, but it all started from nothing.
Yeah, and that's so interesting that your viewers and your fans were the ones who pointed out that you had a
Yeah,
country twang.
yeah.
Where do you think that came from?
No idea, because like looking back to like even when I sang Usher songs or Christina Aguilera songs, there was always like some random twang in it. But like there was never an influence of country ever in my life. So I don't know if it's like how British people sing and then they just sound American. I don't know. some just some random glitch in my voice. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so funny. So you were making covers on Instagram. At
Hmm.
what point did you transition to TikTok, and at what point did you kind of see traction and start going viral, I guess? Was it like one event where you suddenly got a lot of viewers, or was it a slow build over time?
So that's a good question because a lot of people will ask me like, "Hey, how'd you get so many followers so fast?" And like it was a 7 year journey. So it like on Instagram, like 35,000 followers is a lot, but in 7 years, it doesn't seem like that much, right? It was a slow growth. It was
Hmm.
like an earned growth basically. But it actually started off fast. When I first started Instagram, I got to 10,000 followers in like the first year. And I think it was just because it was something unique and different. And all my singing videos were a cappella. I never sing with instruments, and I still don't really know how to play instruments that well. And then after like year two, it just became very stagnant. Like the followers that I used to have weren't on Instagram anymore. They kind of just ditched their accounts.
Hmm.
And I wasn't getting a lot of followers because I think so many more people were joining the social media game. And
Hmm.
so the spread just kind of widened. It was, more competitive.
Oh, so when you first started, you were kind of like one of the only people making covers.
For the most part, there was a lot less people doing it because people were still more on like Vine and TikTok. And this was more so when Instagram started allowing videos. So that was like a new
Mm.
feature. That seems like so long ago, but weird. And then the TikTok thing just started last July. That's when I signed up for TikTok, and my first video just blew up overnight. It was I didn't know what to do.
Oh, wow. What was that
So
first
that
video?
it was me singing Garth Brooks song in the bathroom. All my bathroom videos just weird, but hey, it's easy
Uh,
to do.
the acoustics is good in the bathroom, right?
Oh
It's like
yeah,
echoey
100%.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Um, and then yeah, so July 11th was the day I signed up for TikTok. I posted, it was like a Saturday or Sunday morning. I posted a video at 3:30 in the morning and I got 10,000 views by 3:45.
What?
Yeah, no, literally
Wow.
my note and I just posted it like, let me just try TikTok. People are telling me to join TikTok. Let me just download the app and sign up and see what happens or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, so like that caught my attention. I was texting my friends, but no one was up at 3 a.m. And
Yeah.
so then I couldn't go to sleep, right? Because my adrenaline is like, what is happening, right? Because 10,000 views is a lot. And then by 4:30, it got to 500,000 views.
Wow.
And I'm like, who is awake right now?
Yeah, do you know, like, were they people, like, across the world, the
In the
earth?
analytics, it specifically said United States. So I'm just
Oh,
assuming
okay.
because of COVID, people were just up. Because I was talking to somebody about that too, and I was like, but there's literally like hundreds and hundreds of millions of people that have TikTok in different time zones. So like I would think maybe my traffic is coming from like like a different country or something, right? Where it's like afternoon there, but then my
Right.
analytics said United States. So
Oh,
I
wow.
could only just assume that because people were unemployed or not going to school, that everyone was just like no one's on a sleep schedule at that time back in July.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then I finally went to bed at 6 a.m. And when I woke up, I woke up like at 10 a.m. because at that point I just could not sleep. I just like I want to see what happens. So I woke up at 10 a.m. and it was at 2 million views. It's like, wow, TikTok's easy.
Oh my
Like, why didn't I
gosh.
join sooner? Yeah, and then the next day is when Fox reached out to me to be on their TV show.
Oh,
Just
wow.
just from that one video. But yeah, no, it was really cool. It was definitely a fun moment, and I would love everyone to kind of experience that, right? Because like as content creators and stuff, we all want. I don't want to say we're chasing views and attention, but we're obviously doing stuff to like reach an audience, and that one person or that one share may be the thing that like makes our career with what we're trying to do. And like I felt that attention, and it's definitely overwhelming, like really overwhelming, but it really makes it worth. You start realizing like, okay, I am doing this and people are appreciating it, and now this is really telling me like keep on doing it. Like it's like the biggest push ever. 100%.
How was the experience of being on the TV show?
Oh my god, scary and the best experience of my life. Before the TV show, I've never performed live ever in my life.
Uh-huh.
I've only performed in front of a camera. So I've met people, to like sidetrack real fast. I've met people that perform that are afraid to post on YouTube and Instagram. Like they have a fear of singing in front of a camera and posting, and which I think is weird, right? I feel like it'd be easier at that point to just
Yeah.
record a video. Whereas like I'm opposite. I could be on camera, no, not a problem. But when I'm in front of people, I'm like the most nervous ever. Like it's horrible. And
Mhm.
so, and I think that's just a lack of experience. But I was there for 10 days, and the first 3 days was more just getting COVID testing and stuff just to make sure we can go on set. Um,
Yeah, and where was it? Like, LA?
West Hollywood, LA, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, they put me up in a really nice apartment. I was like felt really spoiled, and yeah, we would do Zoom vocal rehearsals and just kind of going over the songs that we were going to perform. And then at the end of the week, we'd go to the studio or to the set, I guess it was stage set or whatever, um, and just kind of do like rehearsals on stage. And the second I walked onto that stage, I was just like, wow, like
Was there a live audience?
no, not at all.
Okay, okay.
So is it they did a really good job like CGIing like people on the audience.
Uh-huh.
Um, but so when I was talking to the contestants, they said that they wished there was an audience because they're used to performing live. It actually worked
Oh.
in my favor that there wasn't an audience because I felt like I would have gotten more scared if people were cheering and yelling because I'm just used to performing by myself. So like that actually worked out in my favor, but I was still mad nervous. Like it's a lot of pressure, and especially in that costume. Oh my god.
So at that point, you were kind of already like, you went into the show knowing that your focus or your identity was country music, like being a country singer, right?
Yeah. So actually, okay, on July 11th or July 12th, when they reached out to me, they said we're going to start filming on July 18th. So it was a very quick
Oh,
turnaround because
wow.
they started production back in March, but then they closed because of COVID. So then they started again, like I think June or July, but they just discovered me. So I don't know if they were still needing a spot or if they replaced me with somebody. I'll never know. We actually met on Zoom a couple of times just to, for them to get to know me and kind of like build my backstory and everything. And at that point, they said that they want me to go in as the cowboy because I sing country music. And most like Niecy Nash, I don't know if you watched the episode in full, but like Niecy Nash was like, he does not sing. Like, there's no way there's an Asian cowboy. Like, that doesn't exist.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it worked out because like I'm a web designer, but they don't want like a country singer that does web design. Like that's not exciting enough. So it was a cowboy, but yeah, they had those outfits ready for me and everything. I was like, oh no, like I've never worn fringe before.
What has your experience been like being Asian American? And I imagine when people think of a country singer or their impression of a country singer would not match what you look
Yeah.
like. So, yeah, what has that been like for you?
Well, I'm sure you're the same way when it comes to like when we go to country concerts, right? Like you almost feel like there's some eyes on us, like you don't belong here. What are you doing? Like, are you sure you like country music or were you just like dragged along with your friends, you know?
Right.
Like most of the feedback that I get is from like my online presence. But I will say that it's actually been more positive than negative, which is really, really good, right? Like it's good that the
Mhm.
people that support country music and stuff, like they're unless people are just being silent, but most people are like, wow, like do this, like change the game, like we need like a different face in country music. But there are still those people that just aren't educated on the world, I guess just with race and stuff like that. That happens, but it doesn't bother me. Like if anything, I like pushing back. I like using their negative comments to make a TikTok video because I think it's funny.
Mhm.
um like there was one girl that said only Americans should sing country music. So I was like, that's so rude, but I'm going to turn it into a positive, right? She just gave me a content idea, so I'm going to use it. Nothing really bothers me, because I'm going to do what I want to do. And it's already a big risk just like trying to put myself out there as an Asian country singer. So like at that point, I can pretty much overcome anything. And I don't mind talking back to people that think that I shouldn't be singing country music. Yeah, actually, yesterday in one of my lives, a girl, she had mentioned in the chat while I was live that I'm the reason that this COVID pandemic started.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we've heard about it, like all the Asian hate stuff happening, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, and I feel really bad that it's like elderly that are getting attacked, which like that's so messed up.
Mhm.
But she kept, because I didn't acknowledge her in the chat, she kept repeating herself in caps, and I had
Uh-huh.
to just like I just had to like bite my tongue because I didn't want to like give in to her, like making it seem like I'm affected by it. So I had to
Mhm.
like, hey guys, how are you? Like as I'm doing that, I'm like trying to block her without like looking down.
Yeah.
But it does happen, but yeah, it's unfortunate that people are just very naive and uneducated and stuff, and not just with Asians, right, but just with like society and how things are and whatnot. So,
Mhm.
but that doesn't stop me, and it's
Yeah.
it's like a very small amount of people. Like if anything, people have been more supportive than ever, which is like
Mhm.
the best feeling ever. But I'm still hard on myself as far as like I could perfect this or be better at this, but we're all human, so it's okay to
Mhm.
mess up.
Since you started posting singing videos, do you feel like you've been improving your singing skills, or did you start taking singing lessons?
My singing lessons happened with followers feedback.
Oh, wow.
So somebody would say, so initially a long time ago, so like say I would sing a song like, so like if I did Friends in Low Places back in the day, I would probably sing it like this: blame it all on my roots, I showed up. Like there was no like dynamic to it. And so people would say like add more emotion. I didn't know what that meant. So I was like, do I need to like, does someone need to punch me to like, so I can like be sad about like singing it or whatever? Um, and so I had to like look up like what does it mean to sing with more emotion? And then I would just YouTube that and kind of watch like what people explain, um, like filling the words and really adding like emphasis on certain things and stuff like that. And that's kind of just how I carved out. So like because I've never had any technical training, I'm sure there's a lot of things I'm doing wrong as far as like breathing, and like my voice always goes out after like 2 hours of singing. Like it's just done. Um, but I also don't want to pay somebody.
Yeah,
It's
and you
expensive.
mentioned you don't have any, like, formal musical training, right? Like, you don't play do you play any instruments?
No, like I've tried learning guitar and I've tried learning piano. It's very, very basic because like when I start teaching myself it, I get so bored so fast. Like it does not excite me to like want to learn that. But
Uh-huh.
I'd rather just pay somebody to play the guitar for
Yeah, you can do that. I don't
me.
know, I'm very bad at, like, teaching myself a skill, but I find that when I take lessons when I like am paying someone to teach me and I have that like one-on-one social
Yeah.
interaction, I'm much more motivated to learn.
Oh yeah, especially because you don't want to like make that money go towards nothing, right? Like I'm spending money,
Exactly.
but it's also
Yeah.
more structured, I guess, too, right? Like it feels like
Mhm.
school or there's definitely a nice
There's like someone
routine.
keeping you accountable because I can't
Exactly.
keep myself accountable.
No, no, absolutely not. And I think like if things started picking up and started happening, there would probably be more areas that I would take more serious that would things that I would need to incorporate into this like music career. Um, but for now, I just like using my voice.
Mhm.
I feel like that's a good enough instrument. Like yeah, would it be more beneficial if I played a guitar frequently? Absolutely, but I also only got into this 7 years ago, so like there's I still got learning to do.
Yeah. So what's your experience been with songwriting? I saw that you have like a couple songs out.
Hmm.
I think the song Everything But Country is hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, what's your songwriting experience been so far?
I started songwriting maybe 5 years ago, and it was really bad. Like really looking back, really bad. But in year two of songwriting, I did a thing where I wrote a song every single day just to like really, really hone in on my craft. But
Oh, wow.
I spent no more than 30 minutes because I didn't want to like overthink it. So some of those songs are just really bad, but it was more just to like get in the habit of writing music. And
Yeah.
now I collab with like people in Nashville and friends locally. So like next month, I have a song coming out called Eyes Like Mine, which you'd probably really, really appreciate because it relates to both of us. I laid vocals last week, and then it's in production right now with a bunch of producers in Nashville. So hopefully I can start posting teasers soon and kind of like building hype around it. But it'll definitely speak to the don't judge a book by its cover type of message. So I'm excited for
Mhm.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
excited for it too. I like read the article on your website and I was like, when
Yeah.
can I listen to it?
Yeah, it'll be exciting. Um, I think that'll be a good intro song as far as like who I really am, because everything but country was just kind of like fun.
Yeah.
But I think this one's more of like, okay, as an artist, this is my voice and who I am. So, and like using the platform for good and stuff too. So hopefully
Mhm.
people see it that way and people connect. And it's not just for Asian people; it's for everyone that
Yeah.
is different. So we'll see how it goes.
What's your creative process like when you're writing a song? Since you don't play any instruments, do you go with chords or melody or words first? Like, I'm just curious.
So yeah, because I don't do instruments, and I've tried writing songs like to a piano and stuff like that, but what happens in my brain is now I'm stuck with that specific melody, and I don't like being constrained to like in the writing process, like one idea, now we have to write to it, and now that's just the melody for the whole rest of the song. So I actually like just coming up with random things in my head. Um, Sometimes it's words, sometimes it's just melody, but it's all just based on whatever is vocally happening. A lot of my inspiration happens in the shower for some reason. Like, just in the shower, you're just like, yeah, like just making something up. You're like, oh, I kind of like that. And then you kind of just run
Yeah.
with it. I definitely write better without an instrument. I'm so used to singing a cappella because I
Hmm.
don't depend on an instrument. But I also feel like singing a cappella is really what is training my voice because I'm not relying on instruments or anything. So like I have to sound as good as possible without any accompaniment.
Hmm.
So but I like singing a cappella and it works for auditioning for TV shows, right? Because that's what they want. You have to actually sing a cappella. So I'm like, yes, I
Yeah.
got that.
I'm also curious, like, how you balance being a social media TikTok person. Like, how do you figure out when you want to post a new video? Like, what that schedule is like versus your full-time job.
Yeah. So most social media creators or mentors, like if you watch YouTube videos, they always have some kind of like recommendation of like post every day or post at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. or, because there's some formula. Um,
Hmm.
but by me posting at 3:30 in the morning and going viral, that breaks every single rule that I've learned.
Yeah, that would
So
be like a rule that like don't do this. Like don't post at
yeah,
4 a.m.
don't
because no
post
one's
at
gonna
4
be
a.m.
watching.
And like to your point, maybe that's why it went viral is because no one was posting, right? Um, but so I've gone through my phases on Instagram of like posting every single day. Then you kind of get stressed because you're not getting certain views on some videos, or like you put so much more work onto this video, but it's not getting as much getting as much engagement. So I just treat social media of when I'm ready to share, I'm ready to share. And if I go through a spurt of like every day, then I'm gonna do it every day. But like I was also absent on TikTok for like a good 2 weeks just because I got tired of it.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I was wondering if it gets exhausting to feel like you have to put a new video out every day.
and that does happen. Like especially if you start seeing a spike, right? Then you almost feel like you have to like run with that and like please people.
Mhm.
And I'm just trying to like not be on the apps as much. Like I'll post and interact with like comments on my thing, but I try not to go on the For You page a lot because as a content creator, oh, I could be doing this, I could be doing this. And like you kind of get in your head a little bit.
Mhm.
Or like, how did this person get 20 million views when I did the video and I only got 100,000 views, which is still a lot, but like,
Yeah.
it's hard to like not compare yourself to like for like especially in like my niche, like to other singers, right? Like
Mhm.
what are they doing that I'm not doing that I could do to like better my content? But that's really not the thing. I think TikTok and Instagram, a lot of it is just timing and luck too, and whether they push you out or not. And
Mhm.
if they push you out to like the first 10 people that don't follow you, it's a matter of what they do with your video. If they share it or watch the whole video, to then, they're going to push it out to more. So a lot of it is just timing, honestly. But um, yeah, so I try not to care so much anymore about when I post, but it's really hard to not focus on views.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
especially since the platform is kind of designed that way to kind of
exactly. It's like in your face.
reward you when you get more
Yeah.
views.
Here's a good example, like on TikTok. So 2 days ago, I posted a video and it's at 10.7 million views right now, right? But I
Mhm.
posted another video earlier today and it's only at 3,000 views. So like if you were just somebody, like that could be very just give you anxiety. Like why do I have a 10 million view video and I have 500,000 followers, but I only have 3,000 views on this video? Like it just
Mhm.
makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
So like on TikTok, followers don't really matter because everything's pushed to the For You page.
Mhm.
But it's a good thing for like clout, I guess, and bragging rights. But
Mhm.
um, it's just all the
There's so
platforms
much
just work
out
so
of your control, I guess, and
exactly.
yeah.
No one will ever know.
Yeah, so I'm curious, like, what you wanna do next in your ideal world. Where would you be in 1 year or 5 years?
So like I would love to make a name for myself to just be invited to like the ACMs as like a guest or something. Um,
I just watched
but
the
not
ACMs, a few days ago. It was really fun.
yeah, yeah. I have it
Yeah.
recorded. I didn't watch it yet. I gotta watch it. It's like 3 hours long, right?
Yeah. I watch every, like, ACM, CMA awards, like, I think they're so fun.
So good, so good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would, or even the Grammys or something. Like, how cool would it be? Like, hey, Travis, we're inviting you to the Grammys. Bring a guest. Like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Um, but I would love to, hopefully by the end of this year, have an album,
Mhm.
and then hopefully the album can be the thing that like really starts getting my name out there on a global standpoint.
Mhm.
Like TikTok's good, YouTube's good, but like I feel like that kind of stuff is almost like phased out so quickly, right? When something goes viral. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, cool, he sang in the bathroom and his voice sounds really good. But like when you're on TikTok, you're watching so many viral videos that like that's forgotten about so fast. The test is like with this single that I'm putting out, kind of like a test of like, how will this do? Because it's got a good message and it's my voice and all that kind of stuff. So I would love to be recognized for like my own original music and not be recognized for covers or mashups and stuff like that. And I feel like that's a good baby step. But I
Yeah.
think it'd be cool. Like I'm not on the like mindset of like selling out concerts and stadiums, but like a good goal would be like if Chris Young said, "Hey Travis, I would love to like do a collab with you." I don't know what the opportunities are as far as like making a career out of this or how money is involved because the music business is very, very like cutthroat.
Mhm.
Hopefully there's like an avenue for an Asian country singer, but just even the country music avenue itself is so competitive that like, I'm still in general just another number trying to like weed my way in, being Asian or not. So
Yeah.
I think from that point I just have to have a good, strong writing skill and music production skill and just try as best as I can to get my name out there. And
Mhm.
luckily social media is doing that for me, so that kind of helps a lot.
I guess my final question, which is kind of a fun one, is like, who are your top 3 favorite country artists that
Oh,
inspire
okay.
you?
It's like a weird question because like country music's still kind of new to me, right? So it's hard to like,
Yeah.
I never really got influenced by any country music artist, but like one of my favorite albums of all time is Chris Young's Neon. So like
Okay.
Chris Young is like up there. And then based on like how I've been singing and my voice, I feel like caters better to like classic country songs than it does to like pop country. So I will probably put Garth Brooks and George Strait in that category.
Mhm.
But and I don't know if this is controversial still or not, but like I absolutely love Morgan Wallen.
Mhm.
Like he's just like a genius. So
Mhm.
with when it comes to like music and songwriting and stuff. So yeah, I would say those people.
Guys, that's it. Thank you once again to Travis for this conversation. I'll add all the links below, but you can go follow Travis on all social media platforms. It's at Travis Yeehaw on all platforms, and it's Asian Country Singer on TikTok. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in my next video.